If you know of someone that has a disability or you have a disability, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. However, it's the beginning of you doing things the different way and using your disability to your own advantage. What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Today's another day and it's freaking hot over here. And today, I was just thinking about everybody that is going through this whole thing and about people with disabilities, and I wanted to bring some awareness on that subject. So some of us may know somebody with a disability, and some of us may have a disability. And if you're in school, you know that people that are disabled go to a different class or need some accommodations and are separated from everybody else. Then I think this affects everybody. It affects students because everybody's a student in school. Everybody is going there to learn, and to separate different people is not advantageous because other children won't be able to hang out with those who are disabled because they think they're different and they don't give them a chance, or they're afraid because they never see them. Because sometimes at lunch, some children with special needs stay in that class. And how do I know this? Because at some point in 6th grade, I wasn't doing that well and I was getting F's, and people were trying to figure out like why isn't she getting good grades? Does she have a low IQ? And then they made me take the test in the special ed classroom, and there's so many different children. Well, by then I'm pretty sure they were teenagers or kids, because there was like from 12 to 13, and they were there. And I thought to myself, why do they think that these kids don't have the IQ of anybody else just because they're doing things a different way, they're learning things a different way? And that isn't true. It's sometimes we don't understand how things are done supposedly in a normal way. The normal system is not going to be the same anymore. Everyone is literally considered disabled. If you don't do something that everyone says, oh, you did it exactly like I did, or oh, that was perfect, that's how it was supposed to be done, then everyone that's in a classroom, you can't have certain people in there. Like me, I was able to be in a regular classroom because I wasn't disruptive to the learning system, or I did things how they were supposed to be done, but I did them in a different way. I just read and wrote in Braille, and I had to have someone in there helping me and telling me what was on the board, but I did everything exactly how it was done. Especially people in wheelchairs are able to be in a classroom. They just need a desk that will accommodate them and their wheelchair. And then people with ADHD, since they're so hyperactive, they're not able to focus, and they are always wanting to be moving, doing something else. They're pretty smart because they finish their work pretty damn fast. Everyone else is still doing it, but the teacher doesn't know how to handle it. Like, teachers aren't taught how to handle other students that don't fit the school criteria. And I feel like there is nothing wrong with having ADHD. It's just you have to get up more, you gotta do things more, you're a little more hyperactive. I don't really know about this whole thing, but I'm pretty sure I know a lot of people that have it, and I know a lot of very successful people that have it, and they get things done really quickly and learn really quickly. Same with the students on the spectrum. All these people have a gift of learning in a faster pace, memorizing things quicker. They know more than the average person would know. And yet, once you get out of the school system and you graduate, it is hard for people with a disability to get a job because the corporations are still following those rules from back then of I want to get things done in a quicker way, and if someone's disabled, they're going to slow my corporation down. A lot of nonprofit organizations really help people with disabilities and really allow them to work. Yes, there's the ADA, American with Disabilities Act, that really is trying to help people that are disabled, but that is just one small part of people trying to help others. People don't even want to disclose their disability in an application because they know they're going to get turned down when they go do an interview and the person that is interviewing them sees them with their disability. It's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to hire this person. They're going to slow my work down. How are the other workers going to be able to help them? I have to accommodate them. Am I going to be able to accommodate them? How much is this going to cost? There's so many things that go into this whole thing, and people are getting degrees to work, to get a job, not just to be getting money from the government, which is fine, but everyone wants to find their place. And it's not only with jobs in schools that people are having problems with this, it's just society in general. When people see someone that's disabled, they all say, oh, I'm sorry, or oh my gosh, I wish I wasn't them, or they feel scared so they walk another way, or they change their tone of voice as if you have to talk slower to a person that's disabled and you can't just talk to them. Like, people are in defense, they're trying to be careful, walking on eggshells on what to say. Like, oh my god, what do I say? What's proper? What's not proper? Like, it doesn't matter. Just talk how you regularly talk. There's no right or wrong. Instead of being so fearful and pitting somebody, talk to them and try to get to know who they are, just like a person. Would you like it if people were always pitying you? Oh, poor you. Oh my gosh, I think you need a cure. This and that. Or do you want people to be talking to you like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Like, stuff like that. Do you want to feel left out? No, you don't want to feel left out. I feel that's why people with disabilities are always feel like they can't do things. When I was little, I started to figure out that there was something I was treated differently. Like, everyone was taught certain things and I wasn't taught certain things, and I kind of felt limited in what I was able to do. And like, people would be like, yeah, you should, maybe be a vision teacher because it's easier, and Braille, and it's gonna be easier for you, and if you work there, it'll help you. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to work as a vision teacher, Braille teacher, whatever. I want to do something else. And I felt limited in what I could and couldn't do. And I always thought, am I gonna have to work for somebody because, I have a disability, I have low vision? Or can I even be my own boss? Can I even, go up there? Or am I always gonna have to listen to somebody else and work for them? And I thought, no, I don't want to work for anybody else. But that's like right now, I don't want to work for anybody else. I want to make my own business, and I want to create something different than anything else that has been created. I don't want to be working for people that are going to be telling me when I can eat, what I could wear, what I could bring to work, all these things that go into a job. When can I get my days off? When can I do this or that? Like, I don't want to be constricted in what I can and can't do. And that's it. That's what we want for everyone. If everyone treated everyone similarly, everyone would be able to express who they really are and create something new. Because honestly, people that are disabled are people. They're not anybody else. They're just people walking, doing everything, trying to be friendly, trying to have fun, trying to get through life, just to have a good time. You think that people with disabilities are locked in their house doing nothing, being depressed because they're disabled. No, the disability is already a part of their life. They deal with it day to day. They don't feel bad about themselves. Maybe people do feel bad about themselves because there's always people pitting them all the time, telling them, oh mom, let me help you. Oh, let me do it for you. Oh, let me carry you. I'm just exaggerating right there, but I feel like only if a person that's disabled needs help, then help them out. Don't help them if they don't ask for it. And if they do ask for help, ask them, how can I help you? And that way they won't like grab you and don't just grab people and assume what they need. Really let them explain how the process is done. Like, for instance, a lot of blind people, you could be standing somewhere and a person can just grab you out of nowhere and be like, oh, they just grab you and they help people cross the street. And like, they grab you and they take you to your seat. And it's happened to me sometimes. Like, one time I was in this restaurant and this person, like, well, not the person, it's probably like I think a waitress. There's like, no, a hostess. It was a small restaurant, and they just grabbed me and showed me to the table. That's like something you shouldn't do, and yeah, I think it was kind of rude, but I know they're trying to help. It's just the way that everyone doesn't know what to do and no one is really taught, so they just assume certain things. Because I see a lot of people in general, people just that don't have a disability, they don't want to ask for help, or they think they know what they want, or they think they know how to do things, and they don't, but they're embarrassed because of the pride they have to ask for help. And it's like, yeah, a lot of people are embarrassed to ask for help, but honestly, it's okay. It gets things done faster. But just remember, if you have a disability and you want to really get a job and you're passionate about that job, you have the power to get that job. You're just gonna have to work hard or work around it, or really fight for what you want to work for, because you're meant for this job. You're like everybody else, but you have to do things a little different, and that's okay. You don't have to work somewhere you don't like to work, and that's for everybody else. And just because you're disabled, it doesn't mean you can't be your own boss. You could be your own boss. You can create something totally new. You can invent something so new nobody has ever thought about it, because we are all creating new things day to day, and sometimes we're scared to show what we can create, but there is nothing that someone with a disability cannot do or can't acquire, whether it be a job, a degree, family, money. Everyone's able and has the ability to acquire all of these things, because we are all in general just people. We are all people. We're just people with labels, because people don't understand how to describe other people without labels. Why don't you use their names? Why don't you ask their names? Why do you always gotta say the deaf person, the person on the wheelchair, the person with Alzheimer's? Oh, look at that person with no legs, no arms. They have names. Why don't you ask their name first instead of saying who they are? That's just a part of who they are. It's like 1% part of who they are. 99.9% of who they are is just like you, wanting the same goals like you, wanting to have fun like you, wanting to have a good time like you, wanting to explore the world like you. Do you think that I'm gonna be depressed in my house for the rest of my life just because I'm disabled? No. I'm gonna go to amusement parks, and I'm not gonna hold someone else's hand so they could show me where everything is. Oh, where is it? I can't see it. No, I'm gonna go by myself. I'm gonna go with someone else that's blind. It doesn't matter if I'm going with someone that can't see or can't. Like in amusement parks, people are holding maps to know where things are. I've been to the Six Flags. I think if you do go so many times, you memorize the whole park. But I feel like I memorized the whole park, and it's so easy to get from one place to another because I really have to pay attention where everything really is, all the rides, and I know where they are at. And hiking, I'm still gonna go hiking. And then people could be like, oh my god, be careful, don't go there because you're gonna fall off the cliff. You know, I'm not gonna fall off the cliff if I don't want to fall off the cliff. And I would know if I was gonna fall off a cliff. There's just things like, if you wanna go hiking, but you're afraid, you're always gonna be afraid because you never did it. And there's so many nice people on the hiking area that can help you. That's what me and my boyfriend did. We went hiking. There was so many people that helped us along the way, and it was fun. And we got to meet people, and we got to talk to people from that live there. It was fun, and I love it. And I feel like one day I do want to travel and hike and do so many things. So just remember that we're all the same, and we're all trying our hardest to create new things and meet new people and just have a good time. A disability is but a label. It shouldn't even define you. It's not who you are. It doesn't matter if people keep reminding you of your disability. They don't know who you are, and if they do, and they think they do, and they keep on telling you that you can't do certain things, you gotta remember that you can. You got here because of your disability. You learned so much. You grew so much. No one ever would understand what you went through, what you've been through, and no one has to understand what you've been through because we don't understand what everyone else has been through. And honestly, with this information that I shared, hopefully that you will gain some awareness that we are all the same, just with different labels, for people to understand where we fit in. And it makes people comfortable that they have labels, but we are just all humans on this planet, and there is really no difference. The only difference is we're experiencing the world through a different perspective, a different lens, but we are all the same. We are all creating different experiences. That's it. So just remember that you are not limited by your disability, but it's a strength, and you could use it to your advantage.